We've played 67 matches this season with one more to go, and this is for it all. The 2022 National Volleyball Association Championship, and it is a repeat of the 2021 NVA Cup Finals. As the Las Vegas Ramblers today will be looking for their first ever NVA Championship, they will be taking on the defending champion, Orange County OC Stunners. He's Nick England, I'm Ira Thornton, Noah Chast, the third member of our crew, and the fourth member of our crew, Matt Prosser. Well, he's coaching the OC Stunners, looking for their second title. They're in the finals for the third consecutive year. It is the Ramblers, however, that are looking to no longer be the bridesmaid.
Yeah, it's been 3 years coming. They got the third place in 2020, besting the New Jersey Freedom. Last year it fell in the finals in 3 straight sets to OC Stunners, and now the rematch they've been waiting for. So they're looking for their chance at redemption. But if you heard Josh Nels talk in the post-game press conference yesterday, he made it very clear that a chance of redemption was only a pipe dream. He's very confident the OC Stunners are ready to come out and defend their title here today.
Well, two coaches that are going to have very different game plans. The Las Vegas Ramblers have so many weapons to use. And we're going to send it over to the third man on our crew, Noah Chast, standing by with the head coach of the Las Vegas Ramblers, Miguel Monterola.
Last year, when they were in the finals, what is it like to be here now as they reach it again?
Well, definitely looking forward to the opportunity to be in the finals this season. So we talked about it from the beginning of the year. Obviously, a lot of obstacles to get to this point, but extremely excited for the opportunity. The boys are ready. We've been playing very well for the last couple of weeks, so, you know, this is one of the opportunities that we can't go by. So I'm hoping the guys are ready to go.
Was there ever any doubt on the Ramblers side that you end up back at this spot?
To be honest with you, not from me and not from most of the boys. I think that slowly but surely we got the group to buy into the idea that we belong in the finals, that we're going to be able to get a chance to just go back to the finals as some of the guys played last season. And then obviously for us to close the chapter is the #1 goal.
This Stunners team, obviously not in your division or your conference, but met last year in the finals, have practiced together a few times here and there, so a bit of a rivalry. How exciting is it to face this talented defending champion Stunner team?
I think that you can't make this up. I think it's as good as it gets. You know, it's a team, like you said, that we practice home a couple of times over the week together. We knew that in order for us to become the #1 team in the country, beating the best team that we think, you know, was last year with Stunners, is the only way to go. So we're extremely excited to play them in the finals.
We're excited to see it. I'll let you get with the team. Send it back to the booth.
Thanks, Noah, and thanks, Coach Monterola. And again, a Ramblers squad that is building towards this moment. You've been high on this team all year. Obviously, we expected that as you are officially a part of the Ramblers roster. You've been a man of the match for Las Vegas this year, so Nick certainly knows this team as well as anybody. But at the end of the day, it's still a Stunner squad that has the championship until somebody takes it out of their hands. And they certainly, in that semifinal against New Jersey, didn't look like a team willing to give it up easily.
No, I think I've been a bit of a broken record this season, as like anytime the Stunners, that we addressed it a little bit from Coach Prosser this morning, they've been a bit of a revolving door. But at the end of the day, when you get the likes of Shane Beamer and Nick West in the middle, you get Corey Chavers on the outside and contributions from Matt Hilling, there are too many guys that have been there before. This is not their first rodeo. And last year, that was the clear thing that was differentiating these two teams. You watch the swings that Corey Chavers was taking compared to Brandon Rattray, it looked like two entirely different humans. Obviously, Rattray's got the power to compete, but Chavers had been there before. The international prowess, it was night and day. And I think if you've watched this Ramblers squad compete all season long, that's the difference.
Yeah, Corey Chavers has been a big part of the team this year. One of the other major changes made this season was Matt Prosser, our broadcast partner, slid over to the sideline to coach the OC Stunners with his years of expertise. And he stands by with Noah Chast to talk about the Stunners' defense of a championship today.
Plenty of expertise for Coach Matt Prosser. And Coach, you were telling me you coached a couple of these players on this Rambler team. What's the insight you have about this tough squad?
Well, the Ramblers are they're a very deep team. They've got a lot of guys. I have coached a couple of them. It was a long time ago while they were in high school, and I don't know if any of what they were doing in high school is going to affect what happens today. but it's just kind of a fun dynamic between myself and Ryan Schickling and Ryan Mather. Some history there.
A bit of a bumpy road for your Stunners to get here, but if you talk to your players, never a doubt that they would end up back with a chance to repeat. What are you hoping to see from them in this finals?
Well, I think kind of a tale of two coins, right? Sometimes we come out of the gates really fast and jump on the other team really early and put a pressure on them, but then yesterday we had a little bit of a slow start, and that first set didn't go our way, but we responded really nicely. So, talking to the team before this match, there's nothing to lose now, right? It's the last match of the season. We've had some bumps along the way, but we've kind of persevered. And no matter what happens, just play on, play as hard as you can, play the next point, play for one another, and just leave it all out on the court.
I'll have you touch on this bit of a cross-conference rivalry that's brewing now, meeting in the finals for the second year in a row. Never played this year in the regular season, but you practice together. What do these players know about each other, and how will it impact this exciting match?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody knows each other at this point. Just because these two teams haven't played against each other in uniforms in competition this season doesn't mean that we've practiced against them a lot in the gym. We've done some scrimmages. We've watched them. We've watched each other, obviously, quite a bit in preparation for this match. And so I think there's a lot of excitement around it because two teams that haven't faced off each other, but going again back-to-back years for the championship makes for a pretty exciting dynamic.
For the Stunners to repeat, what's one key? What's one thing you need to see from you guys?
We got to serve, and we got to pass. Like, we got to obviously serve the ball in, but we got to pass the ball really well. These Ramblers are great servers, a lot of pressure from the inline, a lot of jump serve, and a lot of heat. And if we can take care of the passing game and be able to run our offense in system, I think that's going to be a huge factor for us.
Thank you, Coach. So well said. You should get behind the mic sometime. You're truly a professional. I'll send it back to Ira and Nick.
Thanks, Noah, and thanks, Matt, who knows his way around a microphone, that is for sure. This would be his first ring, however, as a coach if the Stunners can repeat. These teams did not play during the regular season. Just based on the crossover of the year, the Las Vegas Ramblers in the American Coastal, the OC Stunners in the National Coastal, there was not an overlap in the league. The Stunners were in the same league or the same division as New Jersey Freedom, so they certainly have been tested all year. Maybe a little bit more than Las Vegas has. We'll see how that plays out in this match. We're going to send it to a break, and we're going to come back, talk about the players that will be on the court as the OC Stunners get set to take on the Las Vegas Ramblers for the 2022 NVA Championship. Back here courtside, Nick England, Ira Thor, Noah Chast along on the sideline, and we have a final that not only do we have two teams that have earned their way here, two teams that know each other very well because they are training partners at times during the season at Calvary Church here in Southern California.
Yeah, both these squads are regularly training, like you said, so you'll see the OC Stunners, obviously their entire home base is here. For the Las Vegas Ramblers, half the guys are in Vegas, half out in SoCal, and so that SoCal part of the squad, they will train against their OC counterpart, so there's no real curveballs here. These teams may not have played on the court in front of the camera since last year, but these two teams know each other very well. So it'll be exciting to see how that kind of unfolds and comes to fruition here.
Let's tell you a little bit about how these teams got here. First, the Las Vegas Ramblers. They come in 11-1 on the year. They've won 8 in a row. Champions of the American Coastal. And they, well, pretty much were unchallenged most of the regular season with the exception of their one loss to the Texas Tyrants, who today beat New Jersey for 3rd place in the NVA. And here in the playoffs, they made quick work of the LA Blaze in the quarterfinals, 23-21 and then 12. And then another sweep, maybe this a bit of more of a surprise, as they got redemption yesterday in the NVA semifinals, taking down the Tyrants in 3 sets, 25-19, 25-22, and 25-19. Meanwhile, the OC Stunners, they come in with some blemishes on their record. They are 9-3 overall. They've won 3 in a row, but more importantly, their only loss this entire stretch came in a 5-setter against Team Freedom of New Jersey on July 8th. Other than that, they have won now 8 of their last 9 matches. So New Jersey, I should say OC Stunners certainly earned their way here yesterday, beating New Jersey, their only loss of the year at that point, in 4 sets after surviving the Utah Stingers, where they had to come from behind to win in 5 sets, 25-23 and 15-6. So you can maybe argue that the Stunners have been tested more on the path to get here.
Yeah, and you know what it comes down to at the end of the day, and this was the story that we've told all weekend long. Regular season, sometimes you're competing against these teams that might have pieces missing, guys haven't made it back from their international contracts. Since our league runs in the off season of the standard 8-month international season, as we continue growing our league, we slot into that 4 months. So, you know, sometimes these teams are picking up wins against teams that are really not at full level. However, here this weekend, pretty much everyone's at full strength. Obviously, you see some players missing on rosters here and there. That's never avoidable, but these squads are now basically fully manned, and that's where you see the real gut check.
Take you through the starting lineups for this one. I'll give you the OC Stunners coached by Matt Prosser, and there are a couple of missing pieces on the court in this weekend's event. And for the OC Stunners, well, the notable one was at setter, where Randy Ramirez, who had been in the starting role all year, he is not available this weekend. So it's next man up. Ignacio Roberts will get the nod at setter, Nacho as he is known. Matt Hilling will be the outside one. Corey Chambers, who was the most outstanding player of last year's championship run. He's been a part-time player this year, but he is back and he has been vengeful here in the postseason. He is the primary passer in the 0-2 spot. Jair Santiago starting on the right side, 6'10", 250 plus. Certainly a powerhouse there. Nick West, the middle one. Shane Beamer is the middle two. And Dylan Shigakawa starting at Libero for Coach Matt Prosser's squad. Nick, can you give us Vegas' starting lineup?
On the side of the Las Vegas Ramblers, taking the helm as the setter, you got Michael Keegan in the outside position, Brandon Rattray, and opposite of him in the 2 slot, Jordan Hoppy, the best server in the NVA by a wide margin. Noah Chass mentioned this morning his serving pressure could be the X factor here, something to watch out for. And the middle, Matt Kanigi, and opposite of him, you're going to see Kavin Vaz. On the right side, all-star for the last 2 years, most valuable opposite, Ryan Mather. And wearing the black jersey, number 7, Ryan Manugian. All these guys ready to go.
A lot of all-stars on this court for both these teams, as you would imagine, in our championship matchup. And also some matchups that are certainly ones we want to pay attention to. Probably a matchup of the 2 best middles in the NVA. We were having this argument throughout the week, not even an argument, it was more of just a debate about who were the best middles in the league. And I think the consensus was it has been Nick West and Matt Kanigi. Well, first time this year on the court in front of the cameras, they will meet up today. Well, who are your top outsides in the league? Brandon Rattray is always in that conversation. Corey Chambers, ton of international experience as well. Even when he's been a part-time player, has demonstrated his ability to jump right back into the fire. And then Ryan Manugian has been one of the most consistent liberos in the league all year. Dylan Shigakawa, Nick, has certainly been underrated in that role, but he has been reliable.
He certainly has been. Yesterday passed 23 attempts with a 72% clip. And with all of that said, Ira, it's time.
It's time?
It's time. Let's get into it.
Time for the 2022 NVA Championship match. And it's Nacho Ignacio Roberts serving for the OC Stunners. And Matt Kanigi makes that service one and done.
Yesterday, it was very clear that the Las Vegas Ramblers were going to rely on Kanigi to take on the middle duo of Lovett and Mountie for the Tyrants. And right here, we see Keegan wasting no time repeating that same strategy.
Kanigi yesterday had 9 kills on 15 swings and 4 blocks. The service from Hoppy. Jair Santiago swinging out of the outside gets the result.
Aggressive 4-to-4 swinging. Santiago's had a bit of an up and down weekend. Friday, one of his worst performances of the season, and yesterday, arguably one of the most impactful. Excited to see what he's able to do here in this match.
They're going to go back to Kanigi, and why not keep going to the former 3-time All-American until somebody slows him down.
A lot of size, a lot of verticality. That set almost hangs like a 1.5 tempo. Keegan's entire goal is just get it up high enough for him to take a big rip.
Here is Matt Kanigi. Speaks, from what we understand, 6 languages. If you've not followed Vegas this year, we've talked quite a bit about his just intelligence. That is a good tip there for the Stunners as they get the winner. I may have overstated the number of languages. He's still learning others, but right now he's got 4.
He's got 4 down pat.
I think by next year he'll be up to about 9.
Yeah, bit of a polyglot. Always interesting to hear about that.
Nick West, who is second in the NVA behind Jordan Hoppe in total aces on the year, nearly aces Vegas there. Run down by Hoppe, and then Jair Santiago destroys it.
A bit of chaos there, Las Vegas Ramblers. That's one of the question marks. Is the serving pressure from the Stunners going to be too much for these guys to handle, or will they be able to stay in system and keep their middle established as we have seen so far?
The Stunners were led yesterday by Santiago, 17 kills at a 55% rate. Tough pass there from Manu again. Rattray, first chance he's had a chance to swing today. They go right back to Brandon. OC read that well. Here's Corey Chambers elevating. And he misses wide of the antenna.
Catches that one on the way through. A lucky break for the Ramblers. 2 controlled recyclable swings for Rattray, but the double block last year we saw it. They were doubling and tripling Rattray. They knew he was the guy to stop, and the Stunners wasting no time to make sure hands are in front of him.
Michael Keegan, your server for Las Vegas. Santiago swinging for the 3rd time. Misfire, asking for a touch. Michael Bradley, his first time in the R1 chair this weekend. He's one of the most, Pat Bradley I should say, Michael Bradley's the U.S. Soccer Olympian. Pat is one of the most reliable and consistent referees in professional volleyball, and he's not going to miss too many touches. Here's Mather for the first time. Unable to connect.
A good block touch. Keegan gives him the opportunity, but misses hands on the way through. Santiago now rotating back. He's put together some of the most impressive serving pressured runs in the last 24 hours. So keep an eye on him, see what he can do.
Santiago did not play in the championship match last year. And this one is missed wide. Last year, after Hilling had kind of been in that 0-2 spot, they moved him to the right side to match up both Jarvis and Chambers on the court at the same time. Joey Jarvis, an all-star, not available this weekend for the OC Stunners. Santiago swinging again, and Manugian cannot get there. Gotta love the hustle, but just too much power generated.
Rattray gets the overpass. Kaveen Vaz not handling that, and Rattray displeased to say the least. The free ball opportunity goes back into the platform of Shigikawa, giving the Stunners another chance.
You talked about last year the game plan for OC, which is to let somebody else beat you other than Brandon Rattray, knowing that he was going to get his points. Well, when we look at the numbers from last year's championship matchup, which the Stunners won 25-21, 25-21, 26-24. Well, Brandon Rattray certainly got his points last year. 17 kills, he passed at a 91% rate, 2 blocks and an ace in that championship match, but nobody else for Las Vegas was in double figures. They got 9 last year from Ryan Mather. Kevin Lopez, who's not on the team this year, also had 9 kills that day.
Going to interrupt you really quick, Ira. Matt Knigge has split his chin on the floor in one of those dives for that, I believe, for that pancake ball.
Yeah.
And just had a quick patch-up job and is now getting back in the game with a bandage on his chin to cover up any bleeding.
Thanks for the update there, Noah. And quick work by our athletic trainer here on the sideline. Make sure this match wasn't interrupted too long.
Panayota Stavro, been supporting the league all year long.
Dean Vaz left that one short. So here's Shane Beamer, who has stepped into this middle 2 spot this year. He was a backup last season because, well, you could make an argument last year that the 2 best middles in the entire NVA played for the OC Stunners. Nick West was actually the 2nd option last year, which is amazing to think about it because he will shut you down like that. Nick West with the rejection, as if we just called his name.
Shane Beamer had a fantastic showing yesterday against Team Freedom. When things were going slow and rough to start, he was still finding ways to extend rallies, getting nice serving runs put together, and statted himself 2 or 3 aces yesterday alone.
Nick Amato, by the way, was in that middle spot last year, the middle one. They go to Chavers with the deep tip. That will not find the court.
Well, a bit of a bailout there. We talked about the pressure from Beamer, and he gets the overpass, but a missed connection. We saw the same thing yesterday. 3 pipe attempts from the Stunners to start the match to Chavers that were all missed connections. One was able to go down, but they're going to try to get that established early again here as well.
Ryan Mather goes deep on that one. Matt Hilling swinging away. In transition, Rattray! Wow, kept up by Shigakawa. What a play! And then Hilling gets stuffed. Keegan and Kanigi.
Wow, that's a well-formed double block there, but I gotta say, that dig from Shigakawa off the big attack from Rattray was as good as it gets. Fists on the ground, disciplined, making it look easy.
Big boy volleyball for sure. Better pass from OC. Santiago trying to fly. It's gonna clip off the ceiling, and they will not be able to save it as our line judge, Arena Smith, had to run for her life. They are asking for a replay because of interference there potentially, but referee's part of the court.
So this will be interesting. Basically, the line judge with nowhere to go was between several players and the ball. What would have happened, it's hard to say, but this is an interesting one.
And what made it difficult to her benefit is she was moving out of the way, and then it careened off the ceiling. So then when you're out of the way, you're then in the way again, and it's kind of hard to put yourself in the right or wrong spot.
There you see Patrick Bradley, our R1 in the chair, having a conversation with our R2, Joe Aguiar. In the back left corner, you see Steven Shepard, who's the line judge that didn't nearly get taken out. Poor Rena Smith, just doing her job. Balls ricochet off the sky into her path.
The fact that there's only a conversation being had with Matt Hilling right now makes me believe that this is going to be a replay that the Stunners do not like. And there's a replay. The ball was achievable. It was something that could be tracked down. It gets into the debate about, you know, if you're out of the court. A red card has been issued to Matt Hilling.
And that will be a point issued to Las Vegas. And a free point gives the Vegas Ramblers an 8-7 lead. Sometimes you've got to keep your emotions in check here. Matt's got to know better. This is not just a regular season match. This is for all the marbles. I know you're heated. Sometimes you got to keep your comments to yourself.
And right now, this is one of those concerns we talked about in that Freedom matchup yesterday. The difference was the mindset, right? Josh Nell's getting used as a substitution to give Hilling a breather yesterday to kind of calm the team down. And just like that, a controversial call leading to a red card is not the way that the Stunners want this one to start.
West with the paintbrush swing. It's actually 9-7 after the red card. Chavers is there for the poke. Santiago, this one is stuffed back, and he's taken down to Rejection City.
Matt Kanigi working pin to pin right now, squaring up well. That's his second of the match already. Showcasing exactly why you mentioned earlier, top 2 middles in the league, 2 kills, 2 blocks already, here at just 10-7.
Big time serve there from Mather. Santiago has to poke this one deep. Vegas in transition. Kanigi scorches the earth. And the OC Stunners in some shambles now. They are going to call a timeout. 4-point run here for Vegas. They lead 11-7. We'll take a break. Be back for more Game 1 in our championship match. Well, the argument over who's the best middle in the NVA, Nick West or Matt Kanigi, that might be settled here today, and right now it's been Carnegie who's winning that argument. As Mather, who's been the best right side in the league for 2 years running, serving away, and Hilling finally gets in the kill column.
Quick note there was a blocking swap. We saw Jordan Hoppy go to the right, Michael Keegan stayed on the left. There was a good prediction there from the Ramblers. They knew Matt Hilling was the option in that rotation, and they wanted the best possible blocker.
Great pickup by you, Nick. Great Nick England insights as Mather misses that one wide. So a coach's timeout. They've scored 2 straight since Matt Prosser burned the first one. And we'll see if Ignacio Roberts is able to get his team within 1. That is blocked back by Hilling and West. A scramble and sent over. Chance for the Stunners, and Nick West gets in the kill column.
The battle in the middle rages on. Nick West stopping Carnegie for the second time there. A scramble play to cover him up, and that gives the Stunners the 3rd point in this run as Nick West puts an exclamation point on that kill.
Roberts trying to tie this one up. Oh, Chavers wants that one back. Dylan Chikakawa nearly ran out of the building to try to track that down. So Jordan Hoppy will serve after unleashing his first kill of the match. He's got 22 aces on the season. Santiago gets blocked. Good cover by Corey Chavers. Rattray tips it up in the air, and Hoppy swinging too long. By the way, I stand corrected. Hoppy actually had 3 aces yesterday in the sweep of the Tyrants, so he's at 23 now. He's got a 4-ace lead on Nick West for the most in the league, entering the final match of the season. Too far by Hilling.
Hilling's been having a little bit of serving trouble this weekend. Normally a very consistent but very aggressive server. He's been very streaky. Ramblers catch a bit of a breath, and right now Stunners handling some adversity very well. There was some discussion earlier about that pass that was taken by Carnegie, and they're still sticking with it mentally, and they know to keep battling here. They're doing well.
Free ball opportunity, and either Rattray or Vaz got the kill officially. Doesn't matter if you're the Ramblers, you got the point.
Yeah, I couldn't see that one either, but Matt Carnegie, the service pressure there, an overpass to those guys is as good as a free point. Kaveen Vaz definitely wanting a little redemption after messing up the overpass from Rattray's serve earlier.
I think Vaz actually did get the kill, just based on his body language. Santiago drills it down the line.
Big boys having some big swings. Number 15 is absolutely crushing the ball right now. Love to see this return to form from Santiago. This is what you expect to see. This is the level of volleyball you associate with him as a player. So it's nice to see him back there when it matters most.
As Nick West goes to serve for Jair Santiago, this might be the final championship event where he's able to compete with a, well, full night of sleep, as his wife, Natasha, who's the head coach of the Inland Empire Matadors, they are expecting their first child in about a month's time. So, figure next year at this time, if the Stunners are back in this championship spot, maybe by then, their little girl will be sleeping through the night. Congratulate them, of course. Brandon Rattray finally put the kill on the board.
Off the back of a perfect pass from Manoogian, Nick West absolutely crushing balls from the service line. And at 15-13, we are seeing everything we were wanting to in this championship match.
So Keegan, your server. Off the mark. Santiago still. And that's run down by a Hoppy. Rattray gonna swing away. Good coverage here by Nacho. Here's Santiago. And he tools the block, and that was not an easy job at all, because both Vaz and Rattray extended their hands to go over the net and actually were trying to cut that line off.
Yeah, well done there, Santiago, continuing to be ridiculously effective. By my count, that's kill number 5, if not number 6. That is impressive to say the least, considering how early on in the game we are here.
Unofficially 5 kills for Santiago. We'll have official numbers at the end of this set. Officially, that is a service error wide.
That's his second missed serve of the set. First one caught the tape and bounced out of bounds.
Chavers with the roll, that's blocked back. And then Shane Beamer, oh, that was a gift that he didn't unwrap. Too long by Rattray. Corey Chavers, perhaps the most experience of any player out here internationally. And he overcomes onto the stunner's side. Nacho able to put it down.
Catches Keegan in the head there, and that's going to now narrow the lead for the Ramblers to just 1. 16 serving 17. Corey Chavers, someone that has taken over matches already this weekend with his serving pressure.
He also took it over in that win over the Utah Stingers with 26 kills. Misses wide here. That 26 kill number, that is the most in the NVA by any player, well, any player except Felix Chapman for the Dallas Tornadoes, who's exceeded that number 5 times this year, including 3 of 30 or more, by the way. Those were all NVA records.
John Carlson subbed in as a serving substitution here for Kevin Vaz.
Vaz Carlson just 23 years old, youngest player out on the court. Can't handle that offering from Shane Beamer, who gets in the kill column.
They've used him on the court throughout, so they'll actually play the next several rotations without a libero, leaving 6 white jerseys on the court. This allows for just a little bit of diversity and keeps Carlson warm and ready to go. The team uses him as a role player in a variety of positions.
They go to Mather, and he delivers.
Mather been a little slow to get started here, but Keegan knows that the big man will find it. Just got to keep giving him those chances.
Here's Mather to serve. Big high bump here from Nacho Hilling. Laying out for that was Carlson. Who needs a libero? Not the Ramblers, as they get the kill from Hoppy.
And that right there just shows how much depth is on this squad that Coach Matt Prosser talked about. You've got someone coming in to stay back row, replacing a libero and making that play. It's impressive to say the least.
We're going to take a break as the Stunners will discuss this one. They burn their second timeout. More to come here in San Bernardino. The Las Vegas Ramblers in the championship final for the 2nd year in a row, looking for their first title. This would be certainly a resume stepladder builder. 3rd place in 2020, 2nd place last year, if they could finish first this year. And Santiago can't get the running poke.
This is the 2nd timeout that's been used during Ryan Mather's serving run. Both times he comes back from it not hitting his jump serve, but hitting a float serve to make sure that he's just keeping that ball in. Goes for it once again here.
Go to Nick West, and he's able to win that battle with Matt Carnegie for his 2nd kill.
Man, these guys are trading blows in the middle. Love to see these two Titans going one-on-one. 21-18.
Nacho continuing to serve here. Carnegie with the roll. Oh, what a scoop dig there by Nacho. And Chambers, Oh, with a crafty play from the back row. And I believe, unofficially, that's Chambers' first kill.
Very well could be. He's been a little quiet. You're still seeing him pass very well as the target of many of the Ramblers' serves, but also good service pressure. But definitely want to see him getting more offensively involved.
Ignacio Roberts, 6'2". Handling the serve here for OC, trying to get back in this set. Good pass by Hoppy to allow them to run. Matt Carnegie reach out and stuff someone. Nick West and Jair Santiago shut down the Vegas middle and forces a timeout from the desert. 1-point game, back for more here in San Bernardino. Well, it looked like the Ramblers are going to start running away with this first set, but the Stunners have had other ideas, and Ignacio Roberts will serve here to try to tie it at 21. Keegan has to run that down. Here's Mather. Oh, just too much firepower.
And there it is. You see Mather's been warming himself up, trying to find it after a bit of a slow start, but that right there gets it done for him. 22-20. Now Jordan Hoppy, the ace leader in the NVA, seeing if he can find a magical trick to pull out of the hat.
As the first official kill I've chalked down for Ryan Mather. Santiago cross court cannot get the 4-4. So instead of it now being a tie game, we see the Ramblers bounce back, answering 2 in a row, 23-20. Matt Hilling with the killing.
Nice job getting a one-on-one there. That was a fantastic pass from the side of the Stunners. Every single option available for Nacho, and he gives it to Hilling for the one-on-one kill.
See if he can draw his team closer as he drops back to serve, and he does! Unleashes an ace!
That's the serving pressure I was talking about earlier you expect to see from Hilling. He's been dealing with some uncharacteristic misses, but right there wastes no time getting back and making a difference, down now by just 1.
Well, if he had not gotten that red card, this would be an OC lead perhaps, but he's making up for it here. Does this get over? It will not, as it strikes the ceiling. That goes down as an ace. Back to back for Hilling to go with his kill, and we are tied at 23 as he slams the ball through the floor. New game here in San Bernardino. Anybody's set when we return. So just when you thought it was safe to chalk the first set into the Vegas Ramblers win column, not so fast, friends. As Matt Hilling has had a kill and back-to-back aces in sequence, and we are tied at 23. And oh, Matt's still serving. That was very close to a foot fault. Doesn't matter, Matt Carnegie gets the timely side out, his 4th kill. And, well, here comes Kevin Vaz. And dropping back to serve here. Who will it be? They will make a substitution, and it will be
Spencer Andrews.
Yep, Spencer Andrews, the backup setter, is going to come in here, try to close out game 1 for Las Vegas.
He's been used as a role player all season long, sometimes taking the hands as the setter, sometimes coming in as the server.
Little tight. Chambers couldn't get it to go down. Rattray gives the Ramblers the win. Off the hands, and Las Vegas overcomes the late challenge from the OC Stunners, and they take game number 1, 25-23, and they lead 1-0, vying for their first ever NVA championship. Set 2 coming up here from the Inland Empire of California. Stay with us. You're looking at the home court here of the Inland Empire Matadors. They didn't make the playoffs this year, but well, this will be used even without them, as 2 teams that have been consistent from day 1 meet for the NVA Championship for the 2nd year in a row. And it is the Ramblers doing something they did not do last year, and that is win a set. in the championship.
Yeah, it's a bit of a sigh of relief, but the thing that's not a sigh of relief when you take a quick look across on the side of the OC Stunners, they have 12 unforced errors right now, and the Ramblers minimizing their errors uncharacteristically so with only 5. So to win that match or that set there by 2, it tells you that the Stunners have a lot of ways that they're able to maybe clean up their game and mitigate those errors, and maybe they just kind of take a big healthy win here in set 2 if they can right that ship.
And the Stunners had 3 more kills than the Ramblers in game 1, 14-11, but 3 more errors as well, so it pretty much cancels it out. Run.
And over on the Stunners sideline, agreeing with you, Nick, both Coach Prosser and the rest of the team saying, okay, we've seen them. They're beatable. It's not, it's not an impossible task, but we're beating ourselves right now.
Yeah.
We're causing too many errors to be able to take it from a team like this. But they have seen, similar to how maybe we've seen, the Freedom fallen in a similar fashion, they see this can be done. This isn't an unattainable task.
I think after yesterday's performance, where they made a surprisingly quick work of the Texas Tyrants, I think most of us felt that this was going to be the Ramblers' championship to lose. But the Stunners, you can't ever count them out. They are the most experienced team in the league in this spot. Again, and we're repeating what we said in the open, this is their 3rd straight appearance in the finals. They lost to Utah in 2020 before I joined Noah and Nick in that one. Noah was even with us. We discovered Noah on the side of a road after last season and adopted him as part of the broadcast family. But obviously Matt and Nick broadcast that event as we were just beginning to come out of the COVID lockdown period, quite frankly, in the fall of 2020. That season was delayed by about 5 months. And then, well, the Stunners certainly never missed a beat. They continue that into the 2021 season. They were, maybe not the best team throughout the year. I thought the Ramblers were the best team last season, but the Stunners were the team that got it done when it mattered most. Do they have enough of that killer instinct still in them to bounce back?
Little confusion or little discussion there from the Ramblers if they actually touched that ball. Jordan Hoppe confirmed he in fact did. As it went through the tape, it was a matter of did it hit some arms on the way. Good call by our crew. Matt Hilling to serve.
Hilling's got 2 aces already. This won't add to his total, but I appreciate the fact that he's definitely going after Las Vegas, not backing down.
Guys like him, they got the green light to serve too, put the pressure on, and that's the thing is both these teams have a lot of big servers that you want to see their very best.
Ryan Mather is certainly one of those. Great work there by Nick West. He got blocked by Carnegie, came right back, and he just whacked right at it again.
Yeah, that's one of the most viral social media clips this league's ever posted. It was that exact same thing in New Jersey last year. Got blocked, jumped up 50-50 ball, and he set himself. Definitely a persistent fellow is number 9.
Got to have him as my short court partner next time. West with the serve. This is going to be run down by Keegan. Tight set, and that's what you get. Shut down as Beamer and Santiago. Vegas had very limited options there, and that's a very defensible play.
The blocking right now, the physicality from the Stunners is on point, and that's really helping them control a lot of these big swings. We've seen Rattray and Mather fairly quiet so far, even Carnegie getting blocked 3 times in the middle. A lot of slowed down touches.
Keegan goes to Carnegie, and he finds a useful spot.
Matt Carnegie right now bearing the majority of the offensive load on the side of the Ramblers. That's kill number 5.
And 5 for 9. He's been blocked twice. But he's going to go after it. He's not going to make a lot of unforced errors. Very cerebral player. Here is Jordan Hoppe. Good pass from Hilling. Oh, and Santiago burns a hole in the floor.
That was an aggressive 2-2 swing. Block going a little bit further than they may have desired to, and Santiago's live arm continues wrecking havoc.
6 kill for Jair Santiago. And I think he was just a bit early on the takeoff there. I was watching It's always fascinating to me as I sit here and there's so many different approaches as to how you want to attack serves in this league. So we begin to study really, just that technique, and you could see Jair just a little too early on that one, and that's where you're going to get some of these service errors. That's a very different approach there from Carnegie, as he was going after with a line drive jumper.
Yep, sends that one long, 3-5. The way of the Stunners, and now Corey Chavers, see if he can get a little bit more of a lead established early on here for the Stunners.
Keegan, there for it. Rattray misses long. Brandon Rattray, who was the player that the Stunners, well, last year let get his points, and they shut down everybody else. Well, Rattray's been quiet in this one. He's got 3 kills. Ramblers have to start feeding him. And a position for him to put balls away. This is going to be a free ball. And Shane Beamer, I thought Beamer got that one, folks.
Nope. This is not a good challenge. If they know anything about the history of the way this challenge goes, Keegan hit that one with a closed fist off of Shane Beamer. If it's an open hand wipe, I get where that goes, but on a closed hand fist, there's not really anything that's sustaining the contact after hitting the blocker there. Because that's something that gets talked about a lot. We see it with the Dallas Tornadoes against New Jersey Freedom in the quarterfinals. When you're what we call wiping the ball with that open hand, that's where you kind of get those challenges. But
well, now that's multiple points in a row as Hilling misfires, and then he lets the net pay for it.
Hilling getting another warning. He is lucky after already carrying 1 red card. Another card, I believe, means ejection here from this game. And you want to make this one really hard for your team, it's a great way to do it all by yourself.
And ejecting from the finals would not be a lasting memory for him. Keegan, it's Hoppy setting up Mather, and he gets blocked, but he goes out of play, so he is able to tool it. And the Ramblers, that's 3 in a row as they tie it up at 6.
Nacho Roberts looks to his guys, trying to calm them down, and get the ship turned to go in the right direction.
I think Hilling got unintentionally screened Dylan Shigekawa. He didn't see that ball until it was upon him, and he gets aced.
Yeah, Hilling prefers standing very shallow in the serve reception line, therefore thinking that Shigekawa taking the deep 5-6 seam. Miscommunication.
First ace for Las Vegas in this matchup. Jair, and he gets taken down to Rejection City. Brandon Rattray and Kaveen Vaz. And we are going to have a substitution here. And we're going to see Kevin Gear come in for Shane Beamer.
I think this is one just since Gear is about to, that middle spot is about to rotate back row. I think this is maybe to just kind of slow it down. I'm not really sure, but there's hopefully a plan more than obvious to me with that sub.
They go immediately to Gear. And that one will be saved. Way to stay with it for Vegas. Nacho tries to tip it over. Vaz goes deep with it. And Gear, he's going to get it to go through. Great rally all the way around.
Kaveen Vaz right now really struggling to have net presence on 50-50 free balls. When you're that big with that much size, you've got to throw that ball down. That's 2 now that he's given back free balls that have come back to bite the Ramblers.
1-point lead for Vegas.
That sub quickly undone. Kevin Gear seeing 2 sets, giving the guys a breather, and that's exactly what Coach Matt Prosser wanted to do. Change something, but not get a lot of his key role players off the court there.
Well, Gear gets the result they needed. So good substitution by Coach Prosser. From his knees, Keegan setting Mather. Chance to tie it if you're OC. And they will. Presence of mind from Matt Hilling to see the back line open.
The block touches from the OC Stunners right now are telling a story. They have completely nullified almost every single pin hitter on the side of the Ramblers.
Well, they've been the best blocking team in the league 2 years running. And you're seeing why firsthand. Good pass by Ratchell, kicking from his knees. But Santiago read it well. Hilling again. And he tools the block again. Now, if Hilling can keep his emotions in check, he has the ability to do a lot of damage here for the Stunners.
He certainly does. Just got to make sure he's on the court to play the game.
His father Hogan looking on, sitting right in front of our camera on this side of the court. He's got a great view. Brandon Rattray swinging away. Beamer runs it down, and Hilling frees it over. Brandon Rattray this time gets it to go down the line.
Rattray getting to take a swing from his natural position as an opposite, fresh off of a season over in the Bundesliga in Germany, playing for the Netzhoppers. He'll be heading back to Spain to play for the Caraguas this next season, where Matt Knigge played his last season.
Rattray. Foot fault, saw it from over here.
Critical moment. Cannot make mistakes like that with this much serving space, giving Nacho Roberts a nice chance here to earn a real point and extend the lead for the Stunners to 2.
Ryan Mather getting busy. See if Kevin Vaz could contribute from behind the service line like his counterpart Knigge. Both Vaz and Knigge new to the team this season. And that is wide by Santiago. I want to talk about, by the way, the upgrades that Las Vegas has made to the team to try to counter last year's disappointing championship loss?
Yeah, so I mean, it was very clear, obviously, facing guys like Nick West and Nick Amato, the best middle duos. The Ramblers went into the offseason knowing that the middle presence on the team was not at the level that it was going to require to come back in 1 year's time and compete and be ready to go. Even without Nick Amato, Shane Beamer having one of the best, 3-match series of his career, playing phenomenal lights-out volleyball. The target for the Ramblers was go get a couple guys that could be inserted into this lineup and battle.
Well, Matt Knigge's one of them. Seems like the most valuable free agent acquisition this year that Las Vegas picked up. Probably you could make an argument he's the most valuable free agent acquisition in the league, maybe with the exception of Jake Langlois joining the Texas Tyrants from Utah. Probably put Jose Malero in that conversation, and tough there for Roberts as he takes that one to the face on the attack from the Ramblers. Rattray picks up his 5th kill. Chambers, oh, that is an answer.
Hitting at the height of the pin. Wow. One-on-one, Michael Keegan might as well not have been there.
For those fans who have never reached the height of a pin, and I'd say that's almost everybody, how high is that?
Oh man, now you're asking me the hard questions. I should know that, but I don't. High enough.
Knigge off the shoulder of West. And Patrick Bradley just got whacked. That ball couldn't be saved by Chambers and company. Top of that pin's got to be 11 feet at least.
Yeah, you're making me do the math right now. Height of the top of the net is 7 foot 11 inches and 5/8 or something interesting, just shy of 8 feet. That's the official length or height on it. And the pin, I believe, adds another 2.5 feet on top of that.
So basically touching 11 feet.
Yeah. There you go. We're getting the official number, 11 feet and 5/8 inches. So 3 feet above the height of the net.
Santiago, who could probably touch the top of that pin, but he misses that serve too long. So
John Carlson here in as a substitution for Matt Carnegie. This is where we can expect to see this little tech use here of him in the back row. Brian Manugian out for 3 rotations following a serving run here.
here's Carlson. 2-point lead for Vegas. Shavers swiped at by Carlson. Brandon Rattray, Hilling was waiting for it. And Hilling had to stay on his feet. Oh, and he leaves it short. That's a huge miss for Matt Hilling and company. And he knows he wants that one back. We go to a technical timeout here in game 2. The Ramblers leading by 3. So the Ramblers looking to go up 2 sets to none in their quest for their first ever NVA championship. It is the 5th year that the NVA has existed, but the 3rd year in basically our current format with some tweaks along the way, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. We did a massive overhaul and an upgrade 3 years ago, added 7 new teams to the league, overhauled the production value, and the league really rebirthed at that point.
And they hired me as well.
That was 2 years ago.
A little bit behind Shavers. Hoppy was reading it. Brandon Rattray, he was into the net.
Yep.
And Shane Beamer's wagging his finger, no, no.
Heads up call, very good C there by our R2. Tight pass when everything was jammed up in zone 4 there.
And right now I'm watching Keegan and Rattray discuss options about windows or where to put the ball. And we'll see if they're able to make that adjustment, because Rattray has been held in check so far. And they're still winning, which just shows the depth that this Rambler squad has. Big serve from Corey Shavers. I'd say they just made an adjustment. Rattray with the winner.
All off the back of Jordan Hoppy with a perfect pass. That means your middle has to be respected as an offensive option there. Shane Beamer fronting Kevin Vaz, giving one-on-one options for Rattray. Keegan had an ace in his last serving run. See if he can do anything here.
Well, these are certainly 2 teams where you have to have respect for the middles as options, and Shane Beamer shows why.
He is up so fast on that transition route, gets up and around the front of Nacho. And if Kevin Vaz isn't off the ground already, you are simply too late, my friend.
As good as Kevin Vaz has been this year, of 4 middles in this match, he's been the least effective.
Certainly the case. I don't think that's even debatable. Shane Beamer's playing lights out right now.
Vaz heard us say it, tries to slam that one down. Santiago, well, he was in front of the 10-foot line, doesn't matter anyway. That ball sailed into Santa Barbara.
(18-15), Rattray to serve.
Here's Brandon Rattray, who has been a force behind the service line throughout this event, throughout this championship weekend, but not there. In the winner of the LA Blaze, he pretty much single-handedly took LA out of that match because of his service pressure.
Struggling to find a bit of his groove here.
Hoppy with the pass to go to Vaz. And Hilling couldn't get it to go, but a good attack there. And then that is stuffed down Weston Hilling.
Ryan Mather controlled once again, a massive double block. A huge pickup there from Keegan to keep it alive off the head of Mather. But the blocking presence continues for this OC Stunners squad, who's now down by just 1.
18-17 Vegas in the lead. We saw a late run by the Stunners in the first set, didn't matter. And here a disappointing choice of serves. Carlson out, Carnegie back in, Vaz will serve. It's a service area you just can't afford if you're the Stunners, not in this spot. Here's Vaz. They leave it for Hilling, and he gets the result.
Matt Hilling continues to be terminal. Right side, left side does not matter.
Too long.
Ramblers there, worth noting, they went to a 4-man serve receive They dropped Ryan Mather back to pass, someone with a lot of beach experience, a good ball control player. Even though he's an opposite, they wanted to minimize the amount of court for Matt Hilling to target.
And another raise for the Ramblers. Shigekawa gets mishandled there.
Matt Hilling, I don't know if he was kind of weight on the wrong foot there, doesn't even make a move and just watches that one go. And we're going to see a timeout here called for the OC Stunners at 21-18 here at the second set.
3-point lead for the Ramblers, looking for a 2-0 lead in the match. See if they get there when we return. Back here courtside as the Ramblers work with a lead. And we have a sideline report, I believe, from Noah Chast.
Coach Matt Prosser telling his team, win and lose as a group. Everyone get here together. We've beat this team before. Stop beating yourselves.
Well, they're certainly doing that right now. They have had ample opportunities. Just haven't been able to capitalize. Substitution here, it'll be Spencer Andrews to come in. He will serve in place of Mather. Gonna leave it for Chavers. Reach out and stuff someone. Michael Keegan, the center, with the stuff.
Well, I said a couple swings ago, Michael Keegan might as well not have even jumped with the size that Chavers hit over him. But right there, Michael Keegan. What a heroic blocking effort, one-on-one there.
22-18. They're going to go back to Corey Chavers, blocked back again. Third time for Chavers, and he's going to get the carom off of the ceiling.
And once again, you see the Ramblers making those adjustments. While Keegan just got Chavers, the first block touch there by Hoppy as they move Hoppy to the right side, again putting Keegan on the left. Those kinds of things lead to some very, they sound great until the rally extends and you got to locate your setter. But at this level, that's a quick recognition from the team. They need to be able to dynamically problem solve and get after it. So interesting use there, and we'll keep an eye on it as this continues forward.
It looks like they're going to live and die with Corey Chavers. And Chavers has not been his usual lights-out self here. That serve missed too long by West. And now Vegas within 2 of the second set. Ramblers have won 8 consecutive matches since suffering their only loss of the year against the Texas Tyrants on May 7th. A controversial loss because they could easily be 12-0 right now.
Yeah, that would have been crazy to see at a 24-22 final set count after blowing a 13-10, yeah, 13-10 lead. They would have potentially then pulled off the perfect season if they take this here.
We could have potentially had 2 teams, them in New Jersey, undefeated at the end of the regular season. That fall is long, 24-20, and we will have 4 set points for the Las Vegas Ramblers. And Matt Carnegie will have to wait as the OC Stunners will utilize their final timeout. Back for the conclusion of Game 2 in just a bit. See if the Stunners have one last gasp here in Game 2. And I believe we're going to have a challenge as well now. We're listening to Nick to see what the challenge will be.
Yeah, so that serve, they believe that Santiago might have caught the back line, and as the next point has not initiated, they're, I believe, then still clearly as we're going forward, able to challenge that last play. So what it is here, it's kind of a vote of confidence, right? If they're able to get that challenge correct, that will make this 23-21 here at the second set. And they haven't used any challenges yet, so it would make a lot of sense. I like this challenge because if they get it, it brings them right back into this game. If they lose it, well, this set feels all but over at 24-20. So a good strategy here. Based on what I was kind of seeing from reactions, Ramblers bench seemed to indicate that this was out, but hard to know if that was hopeful thinking or accurate representation. We'll get an answer here very shortly, though.
They don't get this. The
that's very
championship
out.
could all be all but out.
You can see it there on your screen. He's catching the blue line. So confirmation that's going to be out. point for the Ramblers, and that's going to be heading to set point at 24-20.
Ball's out by 1.5 feet, so the first challenge lost for either squad here. A couple looks at it, but nothing's going to change here. It's pretty straightforward. And Las Vegas Ramblers going to serve for the set. This has been a team that's been on a mission pretty much since the midway point of the year, if not the start. Kanigi left that one just a tad short.
Looking to jam things up in zone 4, drop it short. Misses on the execution, but now Corey Chavers, the scariest possible situation for the Las Vegas Ramblers here. If there's someone that can put the pressure in, it's number 6.
Good serve from Shavers. They go to Rattray. Dug up here by Shavers. Hilling. Reach out and stuff someone. Brandon Rattray and Kaveen Vaz. And the Ramblers, they take game number 2, 25-21, and they lead the match 2-0 in their quest to win their first ever championship. Now, a big part of their championship run has been the play of their starting libero, Ryan Manoogian, and his life story is amazing. Noah Chess did a story on him, and he will introduce one of the most interesting life stories in the NVA.
Well, thank you, Ira, and certainly the high flyers and big blockers on the court are dictating the pace of this finals game right now. But libero Ryan Manoogian does something completely different on the court on the defensive side, and he's going at it in a different way than many of his colleagues. Every player in the NVA has a close connection to the sport of volleyball. But for Ryan Manoogian, it means something more.
When I play volleyball, it changed my life.
The Ramblers libero is an NVA All-Star, Hungarian Cup Finals MVP, and Norwegian Viking Player of the Year. And he's doing it all while deaf.
His ability doesn't matter as long as you know how to play volleyball well.
He plays every game with hearing aids in and limited on-court conversation. But he tells me, and his play shows it, that's never been a problem.
To be honest, in my opinion, I think verbal communication, like when you call the ball, I think it's overrated.
Manoogian says just by reading his teammates' eyes and body language during a play, he picks up what his ears can't.
I believe it's all about like the gestures, the way how you look at the eyes and the reactions.
Manoogian first found volleyball as a 10-year-old, playing pickup games with his neighbors. In middle school, he joined an indoor team and quickly knew it was the sport for him.
Good time. I think about my passion in that sport.
But being hard of hearing, he never believed he could play at an elite level, let alone professional, until he saw Olympian middle blocker David Smith playing on TV with hearing aids in, just like him.
He's like the best middle blocker in the world, and he's also like deaf. So when I look it up, he's my idol. It was not for him. I probably would not have that confidence to play volleyball.
Does it bother you when people celebrate your accomplishments as a deaf athlete instead of just as an athlete?
No, actually never. I really like to be called a deaf athlete because it shows other deaf people that it will inspire them to do what they want to do for anything in their life.
As a player, Manoogian wants to be on the court as long as he can while rising through the professional ranks.
At age, like a by the wine, like my goal is to get better every year. Like for me, I do not believe in age. It's a libero because I'm only libero. Like I do not have to jump.
But as a role model, he wants to inspire young hearing-impaired athletes the same way David Smith inspired him.
I want them to have confidence to play. Like be deaf doesn't matter if you're like do not let your deafness to pull you back.
Sorry for some of those technical issues, getting that all worked out, but a great piece all the same, seeing that from Noah Chast there on the impact that Ryan Manoogian has had on this team. But here we are, 2-0 for the Las Vegas Ramblers. They have 3 sets to find a win here and become the 2022 NVA champions.
And we'll see if this does happen, if Las Vegas wins, if Nick is able to keep a straight face, or if he will be smiling from ear to ear. I predict
I'll be honest, I began this journey with owner Vinny Rodriguez 364 days ago after losing to begin improving this squad. And here we are, so it'll be hard to do, but I'm all about seeing the league continue to thrive.
Matt Knigge, one of the biggest additions to the NVA this year. He is making a strong case right now to be the most outstanding player of the NVA Championship Tournament. And he gets the Ramblers on the board with an early kill. That is the 8th kill match high for Matt Knigge. Knigge able to dig that one, showing some defense. Rattray with the tip. The scoop from Nacho. And Santiago tools the block. 7th kill from Jair, but of note, he had just 1 in the second set. Quite frankly, he was only set 4 times in that second set. So they started to go away from Jair. I don't know if I would have advised as such. Ryan Mather. Been the best right side in the league, arguably for the last couple of years, trying to make sure there's no argument there as he collects another kill. 5 for Mather on just 9 swings. Keegan, your server. Chicago's been a little shaky at Libero today. Hoppy with the stab at it. And Keegan frees it over. Chance for the stunners. Corey Chavers delivers. Corey Chavers, his 6th kill on 16 swings. Not the same efficiency levels we've seen earlier this weekend. Nick West, 2-2 here in game 3. Good pass from Hoppy. Kaveen Vaz finally dials in.
Well, we haven't said Jordan Hoppy's name a lot offensively, but he is passing at a very high clip right now, having received 23 passes, passing at a 91% efficiency.
I should note that before that kill by Vaz, he was hitting just 17% in this match.
And apologies, I was grabbing an old stat sheet there. I'll get that updated.
Blocked back. Another chance here for Chavers. Oh, you saw Mather pull back his hands. Chavers recognized it. A little tight for Hoppy. Collected off the net by Chavers, and Santiago just blasted through.
To adjust my statement, 13 passes from Hoppy, passing at a 54%, so not nearly as efficient as I thought. I was looking at last year's championship reception.
Unfortunately for the Ramblers, last year didn't go the way they had hoped. So far, this year, it's a different story. Here's Santiago trying to rewrite that story. And that one takes out everything.
Not a single rotation on that ball as it floated into the back line.
One landed in Bend, Oregon, where you could catch our partner Noah Chast on the news on Tuesday. And Knigge with a useful spot. Rattray setting up Mather. It's going to be blocked back, so they have to play it. Vaz with the hands. They go to Chambers. Oh, elevation.
Good scrap from both sides, plenty of opportunities. Big blocking moves are slowing these guys down, and players that have looked all but unstoppable all season and all weekend long now trading blows. Very few just clean kills happening.
This is big boy volleyball right here. Playing for the NVA Cup Championship. And Chambers misses that one badly.
With that missed serve, that's going to take us to 14 missed serves with 2 aces for the side of the Stunners. Conversely, the Ramblers with 8 missed serves on 2 aces, so almost double the missed serves for the OC Stunners.
Hilling is able to get the deflection. If you're curious, and I know you are, Freedom are responsible for 2 of the 3 losses the Stunners have had this year. The Stunners, however, their loss, by the way, was to the Tyrants, have not been swept this season. And Jordan Hoppy trying to change that. They lost on April 10th, the Stunners did, to New Jersey Freedom in 4 sets. They lost on May 6th in our Mother's Day weekend event, also in 4 sets to Texas. And then in a great 5-set match on July 8th against New Jersey Freedom in another National Coastal Division matchup. And that is too long. So if Las Vegas sweeps the OC Stunners here, not only would it be an impressive first championship, to sweep the defending champions would certainly be a statement.
Certainly would. They are not out of the woods yet, up 8-5, but plenty of time for the Stunners.
They go to Hilling, reach out and stuff someone. Carnegie and Keegan, the K and K combination.
They had a bit of a conversation after the last swing that Hilling hit and beat them into the angle. They were talking with the back row players. What adjustments? Where do we move? Where's the hole? And right there, whatever adjustments they made, clearly working for them.
Big serve from Hoppy. Chavers, oh, makes Hoppy pay.
That's the most fired up I've seen Chavers all weekend. Wants a statement swing. And a little bit to say about that one to see if he can get himself going.
Tries to shrug it off, does Jordan Hoppy, as he got whacked there on the right shoulder. That'll be different colors tomorrow. And Matt Carnegie is right now just playing at another level. He is unstoppable. And he's showing a fired up emotion that we haven't seen much from him, and he's been fairly reserved this year.
Both sides of the net getting warnings right now. Corey Chavers, after his bick, had a lot to say through the net. So Matt Carnegie wastes no time making sure that his voice is heard after that big swing. But R2, Joe Aguilar, getting in there and making sure that he is well in control of this match.
Spencer Andrews, he'll come in here for Matt Carnegie. If Las Vegas holds on to win this one, holds on. If they continue to win this one, they're not holding on to anything. Right now, they're rolling. Matt Carnegie is our man of the match. I don't think there's even a question at this point. As Nick West says, don't forget about me. Carnegie just does not have any weaknesses out there. There's obviously parts of the game that he's stronger at.
Yeah.
But he is as complete of a player as we have.
Fun story for you after this point.
Chigakawa read that dump well. And Chambers able to tool Vaz.
You talk about a complete player. When he was spending his time at Vassar College playing D3 volleyball, he was a 6-rotation middle. That means back row, they did not pull him for a libero. He slotted in and hit D-balls from the back right side of the court.
And an ace, Matt Hilling's third.
And just like that, the lead has shrunk to just 1. And while I said, you know, if it looks good up 4, that lead dissipates quickly with the experience and heat from this OC Stunners squad.
And we'll see if Hilling can tie it up. Could be a free ball, and it is. They elect not to attack it. Instead, Corey Shavers does that, but Manoogian's there for the dig. Mather attacking. Leave it to Shavers again. Lunging for that one, Jordan Hoppy. Great defense all the way around. And then Brandon Rattray squeezes it between 3 trees.
Ryan Manoogian with some of the most stellar defense of the match. Reads Shavers' throwdown, comes across and picks it up.
11-9, Vegas on top. Often tape. They leave it for Santiago, and they take him down to Rejection City, where the blocks are big and the points are gritty. And the Las Vegas Ramblers are rolling. Santiago, another one for a souvenir.
Brandon Rattray goes back to back, getting Santiago twice in a row. Stunners need to answer back right now behind a 4-point deficit.
Santiago's hands on his hips. Can't believe he got blocked again. Rattray with the pancake. Did it hit the floor? It did, said referee Joe Aguiar. But a good run there for Las Vegas, as they work the lead to 4. It's now 13-10 after that kill from Shavers. They've basically taken Jair Santiago out of the second half of this set.
He was hot coming in early, but things have slowed down ever since that second set. You addressed it. Only 4 opportunities to score and only delivering on 1 of them. Since then, a series of missed serves has plagued his serving attempts, and right now he is battling to find his way back into this one.
He had 2 kills early on in this third set, and then he's been blocked twice in a row. So they have found a way to neutralize him. Here's Ryan Mather. Could not be gathered on Mather, and the Ramblers going to keep adding to that score. Stunners cannot afford to be trading points with Las Vegas in this third set, or their championship, oh, it's gone. Here is Rattray.
Another missed serve for him, but he is one of those guys that as long as he gets his toss, the Ramblers are okay with him going after it each and every time, because when he finds his serve, it's as good as a point.
Free ball opportunity, beat me up, Shaney. Shane Beamer cranks it.
So much power on that one. Ryan Manoogian, unsure if it was going in or out, tries to battle with it, but Santiago gets a freebie and sets Beamer up beautifully.
I think the ball was going out, but it was one of those ones tight, you gotta play it. And Santiago again misses wide. He's been inconsistent on serve, and they can't have that now, Nick. If you're OC, you gotta play mistake-free volleyball the rest of the way.
The John Carlson substitution comes in, playing his first year of professional volleyball since graduating at Concordia University Irvine. He'll head to Portugal next season, playing in the same league alongside Libero Ryan Manoogian. Not on the same team, but both boys heading over there in just a month's time.
That's off the mark, run down by Nacho, and Hilling's gonna dump this over. Chance for transition points, and Carnegie take 2. And that will take us to a technical timeout in game 3. The Ramblers 9 points away from a championship when we return. You're looking live at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, California. It is August 7th, 2022. It's 103 degrees outside. And the Ramblers, well, they're just as hot inside as they are closing in on their historic first NVA championship. It will be the 3rd different champion in 3 years. since the National Volleyball Association expanded to what you see now, which is 12 teams across 4 different time zones. Some of the best professional volleyball you're going to ever see, at least in this hemisphere. Still a growing sport in the United States. And this is a huge weekend for the sport of men's volleyball as we are live on ESPN, where Matt Knigge's star is burning bright.
Michael Keegan up with a one-handed side dish to Knigge. That right there is a beautiful example of being an excellent setter. The physicality from Knigge finishes that one off.
And the Ramblers looking to sweep their way to the NVA Championship, looking for their 3rd straight sweep of this championship weekend. As Carlson serves again, takes something off of it, run down by Hilling, and Nacho with the dump. Deep poke, too far.
That ball died by the time it got to Mather. He had to find a way to manage it, just barely mishandling it. And Corey Chavers now with a 4-point deficit, staring him in the face as he gets back and ready to serve.
Ramblers are looking for their 4th sweep in a row and their 8th of the season. Simply incredible. Knigge, oh, big firepower, but that time dug up by the Stunners. That will come over. 3rd chance. Is this the charm? It is. There's just too many options for Las Vegas.
Great defensive scrapping there. The back row dig by Chavers, then by Shigekawa, but the 3rd time is the charm. A 2nd set to Matt Knigge.
And he'll hand it to Ryan Mather. 18-13 is your score. We'll see a substitution. And entering the match for the Las Vegas Ramblers for the first time is Ryan Schickling.
Ryan Schickling having a discussion now with Brandon Rattray. I believe that's going to move Brandon Rattray to right back into the more opposite defense position where he's used to playing. Ryan Schickling, an outside libero, will play left back, and Carlson into middle back.
Chavers got it.
Net
side
on
out for the
Knigge.
Stunners. Wouldn't matter anyway. You're right, Matt, with the Matt Knigge with the net violation on the blocking error. 4-point deficit for the Stunners.
14-18.
This is running out of breathing room if you're the OC Stunners. 3rd straight final. They would not like to fall to 1 and 2 in championship matches. That one's left short by Mather. So 2 points shaved off. 18-15. Ramblers still with a healthy lead. They go to Matt Knigge. So many different angles he could look at, but that one missed wide. I initially thought that fell in, but no, says Nick West. And, well, I believe the Stunners are, the Ramblers are going to challenge that. They think it did graze the line.
Yeah, and they've got 3 challenges still to use here in the 3rd set. You absolutely challenge this one. Very confident call from Knigge, even if it's out.
Yeah, no, certainly that one was worth taking a look at. From my angle here, I thought it was in, and it's a little easier to read the solid black line on the sidelines than obviously the service lines.
And you could hear Matt Knigge on the court saying, challenge it, I'm confident, but also, if it is out, we're still up 2, and we have 2 challenges left to go.
That's in.
That's in.
That's in.
Ball compression.
Matt Knigge, the smartest guy in the room.
Well, obviously, we're not the ones. We got bit by it yesterday. The point of irrefutable evidence as far as we can see there. Ball compression
that's
catches
pretty
line.
irrefutable.
I would agree, but we got bit, so I'm adding my little asterisk disclaimer after yesterday when we saw that touch on Matt Seifert's block that did not go the way of the OC Stunners. Ball is in. Point overturned. Goes the way of the Las Vegas Ramblers, who are now at least 5 for 5 on their last challenges.
Matt Knigge just wanted to really bump up that stat line for our post-game interview that's ensuing.
And he continues to add to his stat line, his resume, as he has, well, grabbed the baton from Brandon Rattray and taken this team on his back. This time, Nick West gets the best of that matchup. Still 19-16. Can Ignacio Roberts ignite his team? You go to Brandon Rattray, and he sticks it through.
A heck of a thread there by Keegan. Takes that set low, whips it across the court. Speaks to the experience. Michael Keegan and Brandon Rattray grew up in my hometown in San Diego. Keegan and I attended the same high school. I coached him when he was a senior, winning a CIF championship, and they were teammates on club in high school. That established connection is very, very prevalent.
Free ball, Brandon Rattray and Vaz go up. It's Rattray this time, and it's starting to look like the season will not be a defense for the OC Stunners. 21-16, the Ramblers 4 away from the gold. Kanigi to serve. Big high bump here from Hilling to Santiago, who drills it.
Goes over the top of that double block, does a nice job continuing the pressure. We've wanted to see that return to form, but is it too little too late? Or will this be the beginning of a bit of a comeback here for the Stunners, with Matt Hilling heading to the service line? I'm also curious here, Ira, to see if the Ramblers are still going to use that 4-man serve receive, bringing Ryan Mather in to mitigate empty court space for Matt Hilling to attack here. But we'll have to see it here very shortly.
Well, the OC Stunners got here by taking down their nemesis, the New Jersey Freedom. But right now, the Ramblers are the nemesis of everyone. They have been unbeatable in the second half of the season, and they are closing in on their first ever championship. 22-17, the Ramblers fans starting to make some noise. Nick West, read well by Manugian, who gets out of the way. Brandon Rattray doing bad things. And the OC Stunners, I don't know if they have any answers remaining. This is their last chance. They take a timeout, down 23-17. Vegas looking for a title when we return. Fans, we also invite you to stay with us after the conclusion of this match. We will announce this year's Championship Ball Tournament team, have multiple post-game interviews with Noah Chast, and of course, hand out the bronze runner-up and 2022 championship trophies. (23-18) as West serves. Keegan can't save it. Ace for Nick West. How many more does he have in the tank?
Well, the goal right now is 1 at a time. He continues with that service pressure, but you can't put the cart before the horse here. He's just got to go 1 serve at a time and just play each point for it.
With a good serve from West. Brandon Rattray gets the kill. And the Las Vegas Ramblers, 24-19, have 5 championship points when we return from this final timeout for the OC Stunners. Five championship points on the line. Brandon Rattray been one of the faces of the NVA. Can he hoist the trophy for his Las Vegas Ramblers? Not here, as he was about a meter inside the back line. He got a little too excited.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement in that approach line right there.
Jair Santiago, the ball in his hands, trying to stave off what might be the inevitable.
He's missed several serves so far.
Good serve this time. They go to Hoppy, and the Las Vegas Ramblers take the gold back to the desert. They've waited a year, and the Las Vegas Ramblers have done it, running through the NVA to win the 2022 National Volleyball Association Championship. The Las Vegas Ramblers, one loss on the year. It came 3 months ago, and a year in the waiting for this moment has come today. They steamroll through this year's championship tournament with 3 straight sweeps as they knock off the OC Stunners today in our final, 25-23, 25-21, and 25-20. Nick England, you've waited a long time for this, as your boys in gold and black and white are the champions of 2022.
Yeah, that was a heck of a battle. Both of these teams put it all out there and gave us a thrilling match. Absolutely have to recognize the excellence that this OC Stunners squad has put on the court, not just this weekend, but all season long. And while it's a heartbreak end for this team, that is certainly not one I would count out already for 2023. That's 3 years appearing in the finals in a row. And, I don't see any reason why that team would accept anything less next season. So they've put the league on notice. A loss here is not a statement of what's to come.
Now, I think the Texas Tyrants, New Jersey Freedom, and a couple other teams might have something to say about that. But these have been the 2 most consistent teams over the last 2 calendar years. And, well, they are the champions of 2022. One reason for that was the free agent acquisition this year of Matt Carnegie, taking this team, taking the baton from Brandon Rattray. And Matt Carnegie, well, today, unquestionably, our man of the match. He stands by with Noah Chast.
Matt Carnegie, 14 kills, and guess what? You're an NVA champion. How does that feel?
Yeah, great. We played great all around as a team, I think my stat sheet looks good because we had 6, 7, 8 other guys who came into the match and we all did our jobs. I just happened to be the one who scored the points.
Last year, this Rambler team knew they needed to have more presence in the middle. They went out and they get you. How does it feel to know you kind of complete that missing piece to capture the championship?
Yeah, everyone has a role on the team, and my job today, again, was to score points, Yesterday and the day before it was Brandon Rattray's job, and Keegan put up some awesome balls, and our passing course stayed really, really sound today. And so, again, I feel really happy that I was able to do my job, but I could only do my job because everyone else really stuck to their guns today.
This team didn't even drop a set in this championship weekend. How locked in were your Ramblers?
Oof. If you look at where we started when I showed up in the beginning of May and where we finished up now, I would say we're a completely different team. And so that was kind of just our path, was every week, every event just a little bit better, and we peaked at the right time. That's what playoffs are about. You could be the best team in January, but you got to be the best team on August 10th or whatever today's date is.
For the first year ever, we have our All-Star game. You're our All-Star man of the match. And now you're our finals, our championship man of the match. What does that mean to you?
I'm honored, from a year ago, not even considering playing in the league, to showing up and being able to contribute and play well is definitely an honor, and it's great to be a part of, honestly, growing men's volleyball in the United States, right? That's what we're all here for.
And how big is a championship event like this and a win like you guys just had for the growth of this sport?
Yeah, someone's got to win, and so someone's got to win, and so, right, you're always happy when you're the one who comes out on top. It makes it a good day, a good weekend, the end to a good season.
All right, in every language you know, can you say we are the champions?
Somos los campeones. No, that's all I got. That's all I got for you guys. That's all I'll give you.
Somos los campeones. Matt Carnegie, our man of the match. Fantastic season. It's been great seeing you on the Ramblers. The Ramblers, the 2022 NVA champions.
I don't think we got our money's worth there. I know he knows more than one language that in English.
So the funniest thing that happened, so I picked him up from the airport in May. He's been living out on the West Coast training with the Ramblers. Never met the guy. We kind of met him, you know, you meet him through a guy of a guy. Michael Keegan played in Spain last year, played against him, said this guy's an absolute dog. This is a guy we want to pick up. Brandon Rattray pulled some strings. He got to know him, got across, you know, the message across, and he comes over. And so I pick him up and we're heading to training that first night. And he looks at me and he says, I just realized I haven't played volleyball in English in 3 years. So he gets to practice, and he's lucky that Keegan spent a year playing in Spain because he was calling for his entire offensive runs in Spanish. So luckily Keegan still understood him, but he wasn't speaking English on the court.
That is yet another remarkable story. There's so many stories around the league. Obviously, the Ramblers don't have them all. And we've talked about Felix Chapman from the Dallas Tornadoes, who put up record-breaking numbers throughout the season. His story of escaping from, you know, basically tyranny in Cuba and becoming free here in the United States and becoming arguably the best overall player in the NVA.
Yeah.
You saw the Ryan Manoogian story before, how he's able to combat being deaf on the court, how nobody would know otherwise if you didn't know his story, to the Matt Carnegies who speak 4 different languages, to Brandon Rattray, who worked so hard to get to this moment, putting up astronomical numbers last year. This year not having to do that because he had help. He had other weapons. Almost like, you know, the Lakers some years in the NBA where LeBron didn't have to do it all himself. So to me, this is a redemption story for the Las Vegas Ramblers.
Sorry, I had a little talk in my ear. What was the last little bit you said there?
I was talking about this as a redemption story for the Las Vegas Ramblers.
Oh, man, it feels good.
Help.
Yeah, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit earlier, and that was that, you know, for myself, the VP of this squad, and Vinny Rodriguez, the owner, kind of the history there is that 3 years ago when we were both a part of this OC Stunners squad, I used to be the general manager for the Stunners prior to being involved with the Las Vegas Ramblers. You know, Vinny and I kind of went on that new adventure together, and last year after that loss, some of these teams, they're going into the off season, and I know for us, less than 24 hours after suffering that loss, we had a 2-hour conversation saying what's next. When 2022 rolls around, we're not going to look back and have the same moment and feeling of regret. We're going to fix this right now. So what does this team, what does this organization need to do in the next 364 days to give us an opportunity to come back to this court and participate in this match in this way? So seeing the guys buy in, additions like Matt Carnegie, bringing us their talent, it's been an absolute pleasure. And every one of those guys came into this weekend locked in on a level that I've never seen from them, and very clear that they played to match those expectations. 9 sets played, 9 sets won, did not drop a single one.
That is probably the most remarkable part of this whole journey for the Ramblers. Sweeping 3 good teams, and well, 2 of them you could say are great teams, out of the NVA playoffs. The LA Blaze obviously were the last seed. Maybe not as much of a surprise that it was a sweep there, but to sweep Texas, the only team that beat them over the course of the regular season, doing so in probably the greatest regular season match we've ever seen back in May, and then to sweep the defending champions in the finals, to me, that is punctuating the fact that you have been the best team all year. You and I have talked about, you know, by text message, nothing officially, you know, power rankings this year in the league, and at times it could have been Texas in that conversation, could have been New Jersey. Right now, Las Vegas over the last half of the year proved that they were the #1 team. Very difficult for I don't care if you're the defending champions or not, to find an answer when there are no weaknesses on the court that you could point after. Matt Prosser did put the OC Stunners in position to win this championship. So no shame at all in what the OC Stunners did over the course of this season. Matt Prosser is going to be standing by momentarily with Noah Chast. But actually first, as we look over courtside on the court over here, it is Shane Beamer, starting middle blocker, as he is joined by Noah Chast after his team suffered a defeat today.
happened in this match that turned the tides for the Ramblers?
I don't know. I can't say anything specifically. I think maybe our service pressure, our ability to block, I think was the biggest thing compared to our blocking ability the last couple days. Ramblers really proved that they have a really good offensive spread. Middles definitely got the better of us, I'd say, that match. And then just a little bit of unforced errors on our side really pushed it for them. So.
Still a very, respectable and fantastic season. Getting back to the finals, what were some of the strengths of your team you thought you saw this season?
Our ability to have some grit. We had guys in and out. The rosters that we thought we were going to have this season was not what we were expecting. A lot of guys that were our all-stars last season did not come back. And even coming to this event, we did not have both Randy, we did not have Joey Jarvis, we didn't have Dylan Emery. So guys that have been huge key players for us, we've really had to makeshift and come up with a new roster every single time. So our ability to really make things work in the heat of things, I think was the best thing there. So.
You and Nick West have been a fantastic duo in the middle. Today in this Ramblers match, Matt Knigge took it to another level, our man of the match. What can you say about his play and playing against him?
He's a beast. One of those guys that really makes you question how good you are in the position. So awesome to watch. At the same time, makes you just want to see him fall every single time. But props to him. He's going to go a lot of places. So every year we see new guys coming to this league that just push the envelope even more. And this year that's been him. So we got a lot more competition coming forward. Guys got to step up to the plate. So, yep.
I know last year for the Ramblers, moments after, they said, we need a middle, and they ended up getting Knigge. It's fresh right now, but what is on your mind that say, okay, to come back next year, this is what we need to change, do, or add?
Well, we need to follow suit with the Ramblers, and we need as many players as we can get into the gym. We struggled with that a lot this season, where once we started breaking off from different teams, preseason, all the teams are joining together, Blaze, Matadors, Ramblers, and us, kind of open gym style practices, but once it came time to individual team practices, we found ourselves really short in terms of the guys we had in the gym. So we really make sure that we have a full practice squad every single day so we can play 6-on-6. Ramblers, every single day, we saw what they did in the practice gym. They were able to go 6-on-6 all the time, but we found ourselves a lot of times with only maybe 6 guys in the gym trying to practice with that. So we can only really do so much with that. So make sure they got a full squad every single time. So that's going to take a lot of recruiting this next season.
Well, regardless, 3 straight years going to the finals, not going your way, but still a very impressive season. Shane, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it, and congrats on the season. Shane Beamer of the Stunners, your silver medalist, second place here in the NVA 2022 Cup. Ira, Nick?
Thanks, Noah, and thanks to Shane Beamer. Again, obviously a disappointing sideline there for the OC Stunners. They have nothing to be ashamed of, as they not only took out their nemesis New Jersey to get here, they were able to do so, as he mentioned, without Joey Jarvis, without their starting center, Randy Ramirez. Other players stepped up, obviously. You had Jair Santiago, who came alive. Corey Chavers absolutely came alive in that 5-set thriller against the Utah Stingers.
Yeah.
There are still a lot of weapons on this OC Stunner squad.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to be back.
They will, and when we're talking about the impact there, you look at these pin hitters, and I can't say how many times this season we've said, oh, there's a Matt Hilling standout performance, there's a Jair Santiago or a Corey Chavers or the Middles, West, Beamer. Every one of those guys on that squad, as well as on the Ramblers, they've all kind of been the man of the match. Every one of them has been the best server, the best blocker, the best kill leader, whatever it is throughout the season at some point. So it's incredible to see when they go clash against each other for the first time this season. The blocks were huge, the defense was insane, and it was a great match. 3-0 was, we all almost wish it goes longer, but that 3-0 was absolutely delivering for every single point.
Let's take a look at the final numbers from this one. Kenzie Shan, the official statistician for the NVA. Got to give her a shout out for all of her hard work all season long and for putting up with our persistent questions. Hey, how many kills does Jair have? I've tried to whisper over her throughout the year.
Yeah.
So you look at the numbers and they clearly stand out here for the OC Stunners, and still not enough, because you look at the blocking points for Las Vegas, that's what pops off the page. 16 blocks, and despite the fact that the Stunners had the higher the higher kill percentage in this match, they committed 19 errors in this match. 19 errors, 16 blocks. Every one of them was a double block. based on this, unless
Yeah.
there's a triple thrown in somewhere
Right.
that we missed. Just scintillating numbers defensively for Las Vegas. They had a couple aces as well. For Las Vegas, well, it's Brandon Rattray with the usual consistency, 50% on attack, just 2 errors on 20 swings, 10 kills. Jordan Hoppe, he was great as he usually is. Matt Carnegie, though, the man of the match, 14 kills, 21 attempts, no unforced errors. He got blocked 2 times, 67% attack to go along with 4 block points. Numbers just pop off the page. 6 kills for Ryan Mather. Passing at a 75% was Ryan Manoogian when he had the opportunity.
One of the things
What
I
impressed
really
you the
want
most?
to, sorry, one of the things I want to point out too that I think the stat sheet doesn't tell, but was a unique part of this weekend was the addition of John Carlson, kind of playing that like James Harden 6-man off the bench sort of look, you know, for so long. He was coming in, sometimes he was playing outside. We saw that against LA Blaze, had to step in, but then we saw him replacing Ryan Manoogian. There was so much confidence in his back row presence to come in, serve, and stay through the back row. I have never seen a team do that, at least in the NVA, and they did it consistently, regardless of the score on the scoreboard. It wasn't just, oh, when we're up, we'll use this. It was heck or high water when we hit this point in the game, right around 35 points in, when one of the middles goes back to serve. John Carlson is coming in. We saw him get multiple digs here today, go on serving runs, and he was the heartbeat of this team when they were making those late game runs.
Now, we're watching the teams get set up on the court, and we are going to have the championship presentation. This will include the bronze medal, which is going to go to the Texas Tyrants, the runner-up to the OC Stunners, and of course the championship trophy will be presented to the Las Vegas Ramblers. I think we're going to send it over to Noah Chess for...
No.
I take that back. I thought Noah was going to speak to Coach Prosser, so that's not going to happen just yet. Matt Prosser, before we do go to a break, is going to come in and offer some final thoughts on, what went wrong today for the Stunners. And I don't think it's what went wrong for the OC Stunners. I think it's what went right for the Las Vegas Ramblers. So we will send it one more time to the third man on our crew. Here is Noah Chast with head coach Matt Prosser of the OC Stunners.
And Ira just made a good point, Matt. I don't know if there was anything the Stunners did wrong or just a lot the Ramblers did right. When you play a team like that, what did you see from the coaching side?
Well, we obviously knew we were going to have our hands full with the Ramblers. The first 2 sets, set number 1, we lost by 2 points, and I believe we had 6 attack errors and 5 service errors or something like that. So that one, if we would have kept the ball in play, I think we could have had a better shot. And then almost the same thing happened in set number 2, just too many service errors that really mounted up over the length of that game and then just sort of, worked against us. So we had a hard time keeping the ball in play, especially from the inline, which is what we needed to do.
In that second set, I heard you tell your team, win as a team, lose as a team. Obviously, it didn't go your way. Did you feel by the end of this match it was more of a cohesive unit, at least on the floor?
I do think so. I think the guys, showed up for sure, and as much as they were able to, they stayed together. They played as a group, and a lot of times in team sports, you'll see kind of people fraction off and go into their little islands if things aren't going their way or after a couple of errors. But our guys responded the right way, and I think they conducted themselves like true professionals, even though, they didn't get the result that we wanted. And, we're going to take something from it and learn.
As the opposing coach, what impressed you from this champion Rambler team?
Well, the pressure from the inline, their service game was really strong. And, again, we knew that coming into it. You and I talked about it before the match, how important it was for us to pass the ball. And the Ramblers did a great job serving. They kept the ball in with a lot of pace and took us out of our offensive system. And we also had a hard time slowing them down. So, they look like a team like on a mission, and, they reached their goal. So congratulations to them.
Thank you so much, Coach Matt Prosser of the second place OC Stunners. Ira, Nick.
Thanks, Noah, and thanks, Matt, as, he gave some good insight. The Las Vegas Ramblers took this championship. The Stunners didn't do anything to help them get there. The OC Stunners are a team that have so much firepower that this was just, a team on a mission got in their way this year. And for the OC Stunners, it's going to be a lot to think about. Yeah, there's no excuses. They were missing some pieces. Las Vegas Ramblers got some redemption today, and when we come back, we will see the fruits of their labor as they will be handed the 2022 NVA Cup. We'll take a break and come back for the post-game award ceremony live here in San Bernardino. And we are live here at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, California, after the 2022 National Volleyball Association Championship, live on ESPN. And it is time to hand out our trophies and our All NVA Team Honoree Awards. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being part of the 2022 NVA USA Championship live here on ESPN. After a competitive regular season this week, we have seen the best in professional men's volleyball in the United States. And at this time, before we hand out our team awards, we would like to acknowledge our amazing athletes. Before we recognize our top 3 finishers, let's announce this year's All NVA team and All Tournament MVP. The NVA selections were based on their performance throughout the season, and we've had some stellar performances from various players this year. It's made the selection of this All NVA team very, very challenging. If you are here as we announce your name, please come forward and accept your award. And we will start at setter. We've learned that now taking part in this championship presentation, before we hand out the awards, let's welcome the Chief Operating Officer of the NVA, Cynthia Buggs. We will start at setter. Numbers on the year: 15 aces, 191 assists, 67 digs, and 22 blocks. From the Las Vegas Ramblers, Michael Keegan. At Libero, this individual finished passing at a 75% efficiency rate with 116 digs, which was the most in the league this season. From the Texas Tyrants, Jose Malero. We love you too, Jose. At opposite, this individual had his best season of his NVA career, and he helped lift his team to become the first team in NVA history to finish the regular season with a perfect record of 10-0. He finished the year leading his team in kills and had 37 blocks along the way. From the New Jersey Freedom, Joe Norman. We move to middle blocker. One of the most efficient hitters in the league. He finished the year with a .612 hitting percentage on the season, 63 kills, 33 blocks, along with 5 aces and 10 digs. From the New Jersey Freedom, Tom Burrell. Also at middle blocker, this player finished the season hitting .525 with 86 kills, 60 blocks, 21 digs out of the middle, and he was second in the NVA with 21 aces. From the OC Stunners, Nick West. We move to outside hitter, where this perennial All NVA honoree finished this season hitting .430 on the outside with 136 kills, 15 blocks, 35 digs, and 15 aces. From your NVA champion Las Vegas Ramblers, Brandon Rattray. And also on the outside, this individual carried literally his team on his back for the entire season, putting up record-breaking numbers along the way, including the first 3 30-kill match in the history of the NVA. He averaged 22.8 kills per match. From the Dallas Tornadoes, Felix Chapman. Amazing season. Congratulations. And finally, it is time to hand out the 2022 All-Tournament MVP. This award is solely based off their play this weekend. This individual, in helping lead the Las Vegas Ramblers to the 2022 title, in the tournament hit 55.8% in 3 matches against 3 of the better teams in the league, 27 kills and 13 blocks along the way. From the Las Vegas Ramblers, the most valuable player of the NVA Championship, it is Matt Carnegie. All right, fans, now it's time to honor the top 3 teams in the NVA, culminating in this year's NVA Championship. And we will start with our 3rd place team, winning today's bronze medal matchup as they were able to defeat the New Jersey Freedom. Our bronze medalist for 2022, the Texas Tyrants. At this time, we will honor the players. As we say your names, please come forward to accept your award. Jose Malero. Anthony Robinson. Arturo Iglesias. James Anderson. Gabo Quiones. Gianluca Grasso. Jake Langlois. Isaiah Faji. Ryan Mounty. And Tim Johnson. And also here this weekend, but not currently present, a shout out to Daniel Jacobs and Austin Lovett. At this time, we'd like to call forward the Texas Tyrants and their coaching staff to accept this year's NVA Bronze Trophy for third place for the 2022 season. This year's bronze medalist finishing the year with an 11-2 record. How about a round of applause for the Texas Tyrants? Now this year's runners-up, their third consecutive year appearing in the NVA Championship match. This year's runners-up, the OC Stunners. Again, we'll call each player forward to accept their second place medallion. We will start with Shane Beamer. Corey Chavers. Nick West. Nacho Ignacio Roberts. Kevin Gear.
Antonio Aguazola. Jair Santiago. Matt Hilling. Josh Nels. Dylan Shigakawa. And the head coach for the OC Stunners, our broadcast colleague, Matt Prosser. And at this time, we have the entire OC Stunners squad join Coach Prosser with our second place award. And now the moment you've been waiting for. It's time to honor your 2022 NVA champions. They've been waiting a year for this. The Las Vegas Ramblers. First, we will honor their players, starting with Tanner Maxwell. Jonathan Carlson. Michael Keegan. Ryan Manugian. Ryan Schickling. Brandon Rattray. Ryan Mather. Spencer Andrews. Jordan Hoppy. Matt Carnegie. Kaveen Vaz. Our broadcast partner, Nick England. That's a Christmas card photo if we've ever seen one. And Joshua Duarte. And the head coach for the Las Vegas Ramblers, Miguel Monterola. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2022 champions, the Las Vegas Ramblers. Ladies and gentlemen, one final round of applause for our three top teams in the NVA this season, the Texas Tyrants, the OC Stunners, and your 2022 champions, the Las Vegas Ramblers. Fans, finally would like to thank the Pierce Sports Center and the Rancho Valley Volleyball Club and all of our sponsors for their partnership all season long. And thank all of our staff here in San Bernardino, California, both on the operational and facility side, for all their hard work in making the 2022 season a success. Finally, none of this would be possible without our loyal fans, both here in person and around the world. We thank you for your continued support and dedication of the National Volleyball Association, and we hope to see you again in 2023. A reminder, please follow the NVA on social media at handle NVA USA and online on our website, NVAUSA.com, to keep up to date with all the new schedules and players heading to the start of the 2023 season. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for attending the 2022 NVA Championship. And as we sign off the air here in San Bernardino, live on ESPN, for my partners, Noah Chast, Nick England, Matt Prosser, all season long, and our entire broadcast crew that has brought you 68 matches throughout the course of the regular season and playoffs, beginning in April and culminating today. I'm Ira Thor. We thank you for your support of the NVA. A reminder that this championship event and all of the tournaments matches this weekend are all available live on the ESPN app. All matches streamed on the ESPN networks. They are archived on the ESPN app. This championship and this broadcast has been a production of the National Volleyball Association and ESPN. Good night from San Bernardino, California, where your Las Vegas Ramblers are your 2022 NVA champions.